Hi, my name's Rachel. I'm the DevRel lead here at Freebox. Really excited today to be showing you our new Edit Profile component. Before I show you how to work with it, let's just dive over and have a look at what this component actually looks like so you can have a feel for how to use it in your applications. So this is the Freebox Edit Profile demo component. You can check this out yourself by going to this URL, and I'll add a link to it in the notes. You can see here that we're just looking at everything that's inside this box. Everything that's green is just showing you how it would sit inside your website. Very minimal design, and it will easily work on a lot of different sites and will look very natural there. We have here, we can see it's pulling in my profile information. So I've got my profile picture, my name, my emoji, my linked accounts, my description as well. So these are the default attributes that the profile will contain. You can also add some additional ones or even create your own custom ones, and I'll show you how to do that in the demo. But yeah, pretty straightforward. And of course, as well as viewing your profile, you can also edit it. So if I want to maybe get rid of these boxes and just clean up my description a little bit, I would just need to do that, hit save, and we can see there it's gone and updated my profile. Very easy, and this is something that you could add into a front end that's using React within 10 to 30 minutes. So let's jump in and have a look at what integrating this component would look like. So let's get started. I have this very basic bit of boilerplate code, and this is something that I just built with Create React App. All this is doing is just getting the user's Ethereum address from MetaMask and enabling the provider, which is just what we're setting up here. Once we've done that, we can now go ahead and start working with the component, which we've imported up here. And the first thing we need to do, which is true whenever we work with Freebox, is authenticate with Freebox. After that, we're going to open a space. So now let's authenticate with Freebox, and then we'll create a space for this component to live inside. If you're completely new to Freebox and you're not sure what spaces are, I'd recommend go and jump into our documentation. You can do a bit of background reading on that. Cool, but let's get started. So first of all, we'll just create a constant and we'll call it box, and then using Freebox library, which we imported up here, we are just going to call a open box method on that. So here we have open box. This method, really easy to work with. It only takes two arguments. The first being the user's Ethereum address, and the second being the Ethereum provider that you're working with. In this case, because we've been working with MetaMask, we set the Ethereum address on this account, a variable which is set to state, so we can use that. So this state.accounts, and those of you who are familiar with MetaMask will know it always returns us the addresses within an array, so we'll just access the first and only one there. Cool. And then we're going to pass in the provider, which is window.ethereum. Cool. Now we have that. Just one more thing. This is going to be an asynchronous function, so let's use await here. Now that we've authenticated with Freebox, we can actually go ahead and also authenticate into a space for the component to live into. So const, just call this space. Again, we're working with asynchronicity, so let's use await. And then we're going to use the box constant we just opened above. And just as we had open box, we're going to have open space. And this method, it actually only takes one argument, and the argument will be just the name of the space. In this case, we can call it plugin example. Cool. Now we have that, we can go ahead and start working with the component directly. So when you're working with the Freebox profile edit component, like anything, it's always good to just give a read through the docs here. You can see we've got a lot of information of how to work with the component. You can just check this out by going to docs.freebox.io. But let's scroll down. We can see here authentication. We've authenticated with both the box and the space already. So now we can start using the component itself. So of course we want to import it in. And as I mentioned in the intro, you can actually customize which fields, which attributes you use in the component. And that's how you do it here. But you can also just pull in the component and just start working with it directly. And I'm going to do something that's a little bit of a cheat, but we know all our developers always do this. I'm just going to copy and paste this into our application. So if we have a look, let's put it down here in our JSX. Now something with this, we only would want to render the component once we've authenticated with the space and the box. So let's actually just add that inside a conditional. So we go this.state.box and this.state.space. Cool. So now we have this. These are the fields that are required. So the box, now this refers to the box here. And actually, I can see we haven't saved this to React state. So let's go ahead and make sure we do that after we've authenticated with the box. So this set state box. And then we can do the same for the space as well. So this set state space. So now if we scroll down, that means that actually before it tries to even render this component, it's going to check that we have box save to state and also space save to state. Cool. And then we can also go ahead and add these in here. This state space and current user address. So that's going to correspond with the user that's logged in, and we actually already have access to that already on account. So if we scroll up here, we can see when we authenticated with MetaMask, we saved the user's account into state, and we'll just also write that in here. Should actually be all we need to start working with the component. These fields down here, we can see that they're optional. So for now, I'm just going to comment these out, save this, and let's go and have a look in the browser to see what this looks like. Before we go to check it out in the browser, the eagle-eyed amongst you might have noticed that there's inconsistent naming here. This is a component that's called edit profile, and I've imported it in as profile edit. So I'm just going to change that and save that before we check it out in the browser. So now heading back over to the browser, we can see that when we load the web page, MetaMask is going to ask us to sign in. So I'm just going to do that. And now it's also going to ask me if I would like to connect to the application. Here we've still got the name React app because I didn't actually update that, but this is the demo application. And if we dive back into our page, we're going to see that shortly it's going to pull in the edit profile component with all of my data in a kind of viewable and editable form. So much like we saw on the demo earlier, all of this is editable and I can kind of work straight from within the component. So here I could just add those boxes back. There we go, 3 boxes. Save that, and the demo seems to be working nicely there. So that's it. That's how easy it is to get going with the 3-box edit profile component. Hopefully you feel inspired now to add it to your own applications. If you do, please reach out to us on our Discord channel or on Twitter. We're really looking forward to seeing the results. And thank you for watching.